Folks, is it time for Sam Darnold to come back home? Bob Wischusen, the voice of the Jets, thinks so. Let's react and let's go.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your friggin' podcast, people. Welcome to the program. Make sure as you head on in, you like the video, hit subscribe. We also have a full article in the YouTube description down below if you'd like to read more about this topic matter. And boy, oh boy, I love the passion. Sam Darnold is set to be a free agent coming up here in a couple of months in March. And obviously, the season ended poorly for old Sam, both in Week 18 against the Detroit Lions, where the Vikings had a chance to get the number one seed and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And, of course, in the playoff game as well on super wild card weekend against the Rams. Not good for Sam. I'll give you those stats in a second. But Sam was, going up, the Price is Right, yodeler, kind of going up. The season was remarkable for Sam, and then it ended horribly, like in a crashing disaster. And while the yodeling was going up for Sam Darnold on the season of his incredible year, people said, oh, Sam Darnold's about to get the bag, baby, from everybody because he's supposed to be a free agent. So a lot of people said, oh, he's going to get the bag. And then after these final 2 weeks, people have been like, see, Sam Darnold, seeing ghosts, he sucks. Okay, here we go. And he shouldn't get paid by anybody. Well, Bob Wischusen, the voice of the New York Jets, hopped on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN Radio 880 AM, and he gave a very passionate plea why he believes Sam Darnold should come on home to the New York Jets on a massive contract that sounds massive on the surface, but actually perhaps could be reasonable. Let's hear the full clip. This is Bob Wischusen on ESPN 880 AM giving his case for why Sam Darnold should come back home to the green and white.
Speaking of the quarterback, and a quarterback that we know pretty well, he didn't have a good game last night. We're talking about Sam Darnold. Didn't play all that well in the season finale against the Lions either. How much do you think that's going to impact his market this offseason and maybe what his future has in store?
Oh, I hope it crushes his market to the point that the Jets are the only team that can get their hands on him and then bring him here.
Right.
1,000%. I would have every minion that I could muster if I were the Jets to put every whisper in everybody's ear going, "Did you see Sam last night? He was terrible. He was awful. You have no chance to win with this guy." And then see if you can get his price down to the low 20 millions and then sign him to a 5-year contract after he won 14 games this year and bring him here tomorrow. That would be my take. I would have no problem if Sam Darnold were the Jet quarterback starting next season. It's amazing to me how many people wait in the weeds with certain players, and Sam is, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but he's on this list. There are so many people that wait in the weeds for him and some other guys to have a bad moment or a bad game just so they can dunk on him after that one bad moment or that one bad game rather than looking at the circumstances. I mean, obviously he showed this year in the large sample size that the circumstances of the Jets and Panthers situations that he was in were very difficult hands to be dealt. And once you got him good players, he's a good quarterback and you can win. Now, this is the first time that he was ever on this stage in this big moment, and he didn't play well. He's also not the first quarterback to have that happen to. Also, and this is also, I think, characteristic of all the people that like to dunk on him, I mean, does anybody look at the pass protection or the answers they had for him, hot routes and whatnot, when the Rams were blitzing? and see if he was maybe dealt a pretty difficult hand on the majority, if not all, of those sacks. Did he make mistakes yesterday and last night? Of course he did. He'd be the first, and you know what? This is the best part about Sam. He will stand in front of his locker and own every single sack, even if none of them were his fault. He'll own all 9 of them because he never for 1 second throws a teammate or a coach or anyone under the bus. He always takes full blame on his shoulders. I didn't hear what he said last night, and with 100% confidence, I bet he stood at the microphone and took the whole thing on his shoulders. But if you go back and watch those sacks, you're going to tell me they were all his fault? That's crazy. So, I hope nobody wants him after last night's game, and I hope the Jets have a chance to bring him back.
He says he hopes the Jets have a chance to bring him back. Now, something you guys can't see if you watch the show, something you can't see if you watch the show is behind this Boy Green nameplate that's right here. Chink, chink. It says New York Jets Digital Reporter and all that. And it's hidden by books. Right here is the Aaron Rodgers book. We had, of course, Ian O'Connor on. And then this one's a Tom Moore book. Behind that is a case, just like this. See, behind here we got a football case. Over my left shoulder we have a football case too. And in that case, it's not a football. It's an autograph hat from Sam Darnold. When Sam Darnold walked off the stage of the 2018 NFL Draft, he signed a Jets hat, a Jets draft hat. Signed the top. And NFL, the official NFL account, ran a Instagram contest that said, hey, who wants the first signed hat by Sam Darnold? And I went, sure, I'll do that. So I entered the contest, and behind door number 2 over here is an autographed Sam Darnold hat, the first hat he signed after walking off that stage. All the hope and everything for Jet fans. So I still have that. Very nice. Shout out to NFL, National Football League, for that gift. And I've been thinking about this for a while. I see a lot of people are disagreeing with Bob. I love Bob, and I think he's right, man. I think he's absolutely right. Let's bring Sammy home, baby. Let's stop overreacting to 2 games. 2 games. And here are the stats. Let's be honest here, okay? Let's be incredibly honest with how Sam Darnold performed in those 2 games. Again, that is Week 18 against the Detroit Lions, and then in the Super Wild Card game against the Los Angeles Rams. In those 2 games, the Vikings scored 9 points and 9 points, 18 points total. Throughout the course of the season, though, they were averaging 25 points per game. That's a top 10 scoring offense in the NFL this past year. But in those 2 games, they only scored 9 points in each game. And Sam Darnold was awful. I'll give you the stats. Here they are. In those 2 games, he was sacked 11 times total, completed 53% of his passes, had just 1 touchdown and 1 interception, and threw for 411 passing yards. He was terrible, and he held onto the ball way too long and got sacked all over the place. I don't know if all the sacks are his fault. That Vikings offensive line kind of fell apart with injuries, but Sam Darnold definitely, he's responsible for some of those sacks. There's no question. He just held the ball forever like, Sam, do something, do something, do something. But putting that aside, why don't we take a gander, adjust your glasses, folks, for what Darnold did during the full season? I don't know, winning 14 games for the Minnesota Vikings, becoming the first team in NFL history to be a 14-win wild card road team? Yeah, that was Sam Darnold. What about his stats for the year? 66.2% completion percentage, 4,300 passing yards, 35 touchdowns to 12 picks. And folks, you all know this, but I'll say it anyway. If that season happened with the Jets, Sam Darnold would be number 1 all-time in single-season passing yards for a Jet quarterback and number 1 all-time in a single-season passing touchdown mark. All-time this past season, the majority. Now, what I will say this is obviously I think Sam Darnold lost a lot of money with how he finished the season. Now, I don't think he lost all the money. Somebody's going to pay him. Folks, quarterbacks are scarce. Sam Darnold is 27 years of age right now, and when he hits free agency, he's going to be 27. Somebody's going to give Sam Darnold the bag. Is it the Giants? Is it the Saints? They're in cap hell, so probably not. But, look at all the teams that are desperately searching for a quarterback. Somebody's going to pay Sam Darnold in free agency. In any year, and specifically this year, where there's crappy options, it's Sam Darnold, it's Russell Wilson, and then a bunch of guys like Justin Fields, who are these unproven, not-so-sure dart throws. Sam Darnold's going to get the bag. Folks, remember to what went wrong the first time with Sam Darnold in New York. The criticism by the majority of Jet fans is, the Jets didn't do enough. They didn't give him enough protection. They didn't give him enough playmakers. And yes, FL Phil 98, I see a member super chat here, and every time we get one of those, baby, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
FL Phil 98, and member for 6 months. God bless FL Phil. Philium, if I may. The chat is very split, BG. Poll question? Damn it, Philium, when you say things, they happen. Let's put up a poll right now on our YouTube. Okay, we're going to put a poll up, and all you crazy fans can vote right now on whether or not you'd love to see Sam Darnold back. So let's do this. Let's put it up to a poll. Let's do it. Philium said it. Let's do it. Do you want Sam Darnold back on the Jets in 2025? Yes or no? Booyah! Let's throw up that poll, baby. It is now up. It's now pinned up there, so you guys can check it out. Start voting as I continue on with my diatribe and different, arguments. So again, that poll is now up on YouTube. Folks, the criticism of Sam Darnold the first time around with the Jets is the Jets did not provide him with proper protection and playmakers. And then the risk was going into that 2021 NFL draft, do the Jets try to give it another run with Sam Darnold and trade the number 2 overall pick to a hot bidder who everyone wanted that number 2 overall pick that year? You trade back, get a bunch of picks and build around Sam. Or do you trade Sam and reset the quarterback clock and get a fresh rookie in here? We all know the decision that the Jets made. But again, the criticism of Sam is that he didn't have an offensive line or playmakers. And by God, it's 2025. The Jets have 4 of their 5 starters under contract. Morgan Moses sounds like he wants to come back to the Jets, so that would be a relatively cheap deal. Then you have your starting 5, plus you need depth. And then you got weapons. You got Garrett Wilson. You got Breece Hall. I mean, come on, man. Why wouldn't you want that, Jet fans? Again, vote however you're going to vote, but this is just my case here. I think Bob Wischusen hit the nail on the head. We can change that Jets Darnold destiny that seems to have already been written in the stars that it didn't work out and he's working out in another place. And the back end of that Wischusen piece is right. We chastised Zach Wilson for after an ugly loss to the New England Patriots. Zach Wilson schlubbed up to the podium and said, the wind, or do you feel more responsible with the defense and everything? Nope. And Zach Wilson gave these shitty-ass answers for his accountability. We're looking for accountability. Sam Darnold is like the most accountable guy of all time. He dives on the sword for his teammates all the time. So he's the right kind of guy that you want to build around as a quarterback. He has the right moxie. He takes it on the chin. He's a great representative of an organization. And then look at the numbers. He's developed. He showed with the Vikings this year, if you give him some good coaching, you give him some good playmakers, you give him you put a team around him, Sam Darnold, you can win. They won 14 bleeping games, man. And if it was in a normal NFL year where you didn't have another 14-win team in the division who ended up winning 15, if you didn't have one of those in a weird year, then the Vikings would have been the number 1 seed in the gosh darn conference, man. Who doesn't want Sam Darnold back? And I see, obviously, a lot of people don't. They're saying it out there. I would love to have Sam Darnold back. I'd love to rewrite the chapters and see eras of Jets football together. Sam Darnold throwing touchdown passes to Garrett gosh darn Wilson, baby. And by the way, let me just say this. How are we so high and mighty, Jet fans? What the hell do we have at quarterback? Aaron Rodgers, who might retire? Like Tyrod Taylor? Are we freaking kidding me here? We don't even, it'd be one thing if we had Patrick Mahomes like, we're too good for that, Paul. We don't need Sam Darnold. We've got Dick and Pimp at quarterback, for God's sakes. Aaron Rodgers might just retire. Why wouldn't you want Sammy back? He's 27 years of age, man. He's only 27 years of age. And I would also say this. I think, again, I mentioned this earlier, but with how the season ended for Sam with those 2 games, he lost a lot of money. I think Sam, if the Vikings went on a mini playoff run, I think Sam would have gotten an unbelievable bag. I mean, 45 to 50 million per year on a crazy deal. I think Sam would have gotten that. If the Vikings won a playoff game or 2 and Sam looked good, I think he could have gotten that kind of bag. Now, with how it ended, I think it's a a little lower. Now, Bob Wischusen's prognostication is a 5-year deal for $20+ million per year, which again, in totality, would be a $100 million contract. I think Sam's going to get more than that. It's probably going to be somewhere in the ballpark. I'm spitballing here, but my prognostication for Sam right now is he's going to get a multi-year deal from some team, somewhere between 25 to 35 million per year is what he's going to get in a couple of months here. 25 to 35 million, 3 or 4 year deal. That's my guess right now. And if that's what it is, I'm paying that. That's less than Daniel Jones, people. That's less than Daniel Jones. And Sam Darnold did far more this past season than Daniel Jones has ever done at any point in his career. He got $40 million per year. And you're telling me you could get Sammy for less? Okay. And the quarterback market, think about this. Think about this. The highest paid quarterback in football is Dak Prescott, $60 million per year. You're telling me you could get Sam Darnold for half that in this quarterback market for a 27-year-old, and then you're able to reinvest the rest of the money at other positions? Why would you not want Sam? Sam is a great kid. He's showing the stats. He's showing that he can get it done, man. He's showing he could get it done. And again, the Jets will not be alone. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be looking at Sam as a free agent. There's going to be a lot of teams. Now, wait just a second here. I have not responded to all the comments coming in. Vinny Luciano, you tell Daniel Jones won a playoff game. What does that mean? Okay, he won a playoff game. You're telling me you would pay Daniel Jones more money than Sam Darnold? Stop it. Stop it, Vinny. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Dakota says Sam is going to stay in Minnesota. It wouldn't be if I was Sam, it wouldn't be a bad idea to stay with the Kevin O'Connell coaching, the safety of that. If they give him halfway decent money, they may not because of the J.J. McCarthy effect and how things ended. They may not do it. I don't know if they give him the franchise tag anymore. That's $40 million, give or take. It's sort of a projection because we don't know officially what the cap's going to be yet, but it's going to be somewhere in the $40 million on a 1-year deal ballpark. That's an expensive price. We'll see if they tag him. I'm sure they will attempt to re-sign him because that would be best for all parties. But come on, man. Come on, man. Let's put some respect on Sam Darnold's name, for God's sakes. What was the Baker deal? Like $3,150, I think? Let me get that Zach Quinn for you. Baker Mayfield deal. What's that? My head remember. Oh, it's 3 for 100. 33 per. That's what Spot Track says, excuse me. 3 years for 100, 33 per. The market is also different now, so that's why I think you have to factor that in too. But at 33 per, 333. Plus, there's obviously escalators in that, but 333. Yeah, man. So come on. Let's bring Sammy home. Let me see the poll results. How are we doing right now? Let's take a gander at the poll results. We're 67% no. You people are sick. You people are sick. 67% say no thanks to Sam Darnold 2025. Come on, man. Come on, man. Man, Sam Darnold's still young. He's coming off an awesome season, statistically speaking. I'd be compelled. Then he says the 33% are sick. And Bob Wischusen, what a passionate take, man. How do you not respect that passion? It's terrific. I love it. We got 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. And here's the shish kebab. Like I said, there's an article in the YouTube description if you'd like to catch up on the full thing. But based on how the season ended for Sam, he likely lost a lot of money. Week 18, he struggled, and in the playoff game, he struggled. And now he's set to be an unrestricted free agent. The Vikings could franchise tag him, but it would be like a 1-year deal, fully guaranteed for about 40-ish. Again, it's a projection because we don't know officially the NFL salary cap number. So it'd be a 1-year deal for $40 million, fully guaranteed. And the Vikings got a lot of people to pay. Look at their upcoming free agents. They got a lot of people to pay, so it's no slam dunk that they would franchise tag him. And based on how he finished, there's no guarantee they'd franchise tag him either. So in theory, he's going to get paid a little bit less because of how the season ended, which could put the Jets in the conversation of making it happen, of signing this man and bringing him back home to the New York Jets. And people say, like, would Sam want to come back? Obviously, I'm not a mind reader. I have no idea. Who knows? But I would say it's a different regime than the one that traded him away. He seemed to have fondness for the Jets. Every time he's been asked about them publicly, he's given wonderful answers. And the Jets have checked off the things that he wanted from the get-go and his parents wanted. You remember what Joe Douglas told his parents? We're going to get your son protection and playmakers. That was a lie. I feel like Maury. And the lie detector determined that was a lie. Okay, he lied. But now we've got it. We got 4 of the 5. And if you bring back Morgan Moses, we got 5 of the 5. Garrett friggin' Wilson, Breece Hall, Malachi Corley, Alan Lazard. Okay, we're going to work on some of the other pieces, but come on, man. What the hell? Why not? FL Phil 98 says the phone call should be heated. I imagine they will be on the Passionate Takes. We'll have to go to there in just a second. Let's also give some love to the Boy Green Raffle Leaderboard, which, again, every Boy Green membership you guys gift or purchase for yourself, they all count the same. Or send in super chat, super stickers, what have you, gives you a raffle ticket to our contest that we're giving away at the end of the month. And let's throw that up on the board real quick before we open up the phone lines. Here we go, baby. Throw it up on the screen. Boy Green Raffle Giveaway Spectacular. We're giving away a Nike Atmosphere Aaron Rodgers jersey, heather gray color, a $50 Boy Green merch shop gift card, and a custom laser engraving extravaganza that has Jets and Boy Green laser engraved merch, like license plates, pens, coins, commemorative coins, and so much more. It's a pretty cool package on top of everything else that you get. And again, to have a chance to win that, all you have to do is submit one $2.99 gift. Again, it could be a super chat, it could be a super sticker. Hell, you can also use PayPal or Venmo if you prefer. There's no restrictions, there's no limits. You can purchase as many tickets as you'd like, and obviously, the more you purchase, the better your chances are of winning that grand prize. So, folks, make sure you get those memberships flowing, baby. And I've been recommending it this entire contest. Everyone should at least buy one ticket. It's only $2.99, and give yourself a chance to win the awesome prize. Again, obviously, the people that buy more have a better shot. But if you have one, I've been a lucky bastard my whole life. I got a 4-leaf clover shoved up somewhere. But let's give some love to the leaderboard. Number 1 Austrian Jet fan has gifted 82 memberships so far this month. He's number 1. Jimmy Jets at 77. J-Boy at 65. DNY for Life at 38. And Fleur Lillian Big D at 18. Those are all our top 5 of the most gifted memberships so far. And obviously, with that, all those raffle tickets that are available, baby. All right, without further ado, this should be interesting. One of the most interesting phone line conversations I think we've ever had here on the show. Let's play a quick hep song, and up next, we'll welcome you guys to the show, and I'm sure in all the civil conversation we're about to have about Sam Darnold. Yeah, boy.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily. Boy Green Daily, the New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets.
Love it there from Hep. Why don't we do this? So first off, let's give a shout out to our boy, our number 1 Austrian Jet fan, baby, who just gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. You love to see it. Kindly, sir, and let's give a shout out. YouTube has fixed it again. Christian Bainbridge, who were just gifted a membership from our number 1 Austrian Jet fan, which is another raffle ticket for our guy, our number 1 Austrian Jet fan. So let's update the banner. That is now 83 gifted memberships so far this month, and I'm feeling in the gifting mood. So people, here we go. I'm about to give out some memberships myself. Let's do this, baby. Membership gifting. We're going to gift 5 members right now on the show to 5 lucky Boy Green Coffee Club listeners. You are now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Let's throw that up on the screen real quick, baby. Let's give back to the community. Booyah! Boy Green gifting 5 Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, baby! And let's get one of these in, shall we? Real quick, before I reveal the 5 members that are now a part of the Boy Green Coffee Club, what is a Boy Green Coffee Club membership? What the heck is one of those? Well, of course, you become a loyal member to the show. Your comments are highlighted by a different logo that appears for being a member to the show. Get access to our Discord channel where we talk about all kinds of things, Jets, NFL, and beyond. Plus, we've got a mailbag on Discord that we take exclusive questions from those to some of our wonderful guests, including, what about Sean Lights Out Merriman will be joining us at 3 o'clock today here on our Boy Green Meets Woody show at 3 o'clock. If you're a member, you get chances to ask some of those exclusive questions to some of our wonderful guests we'll be having on the show. Just another perk and part of the Boy Green Coffee Club. So, yeah, just our way to give back to the fans. By the way, let's read out those 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. That is, in no particular order, Alexander Brown, Tony S., Brandon Sanzone, Peter Kibe, and Confessor LeBron, all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. God bless, and I'm glad that we can give back to the fans. You guys are awesome. So love it. And Zach Quinn, Merriman was a nobody. A nobody. Oh, wow. The disrespect for Sean. I hope you tell that to Sean Merriman's face, baby. A former 12th overall pick that was a part of the Eli Manning trade. A guy that was the defensive rookie of the year. A first-time All-Pro. A 3-time Pro Bowler. He led the league in sacks in 2006. Sure, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nobody. Tell that to Sean Merriman's face, okay? The 6'4", 261-pound, greased up friggin' mammoth, godlike body. Yeah, you tell that to Sean Merriman. Zach Quinn, line up at quarterback. He's gonna sack the shit out of you, pal. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, sure you would. Okay, yeah, but we got keyboard warriors over here. All right, let's jump over to the phone lines, get into some of those calls. We've got NY Jets FL here on the show. Oh. Maybe not. We'll come back to you, NY Jets FL. Must be having a problem there. Let's go Ricky New York next here on the show. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Paul? You may not like this take, but
Okay.
I'm going to have to say no to Sam.
Oh.
I'm going to have to say no to Sam for a second go around. Which, you know what? I like Sam. I'm very happy for him, the success that he had for, the majority of this year up until last week.
Mm-hmm.
However, whereas like everybody else, all year long, we've heard like, oh my gosh, Sam, no, he's got the best receiver in all of football.
Sure.
And, a decent line. And a defense that's at least good enough to keep them in games where, they haven't been trailing and it hasn't, taken a miracle for them to come back from it, any of the games that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all fine and well, but we get to the playoffs and the Rams went, I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's still Sam Darnold. 9 sacks later, all of a sudden, he kind of looked like Sam here. And that's the thing. Like, let me ask you, who do you think is the best pass rusher in the league right now?
A lot of good choices. TJ Watts, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons would be up there. That's a bunch of names off the top of my head.
Yeah. TJ Watt, Micah Parsons.
Daniil Hunter is really good. Oh, yeah, sure. There's plenty of names. Yeah.
It was none of those guys that lit Sam Darnold up. It was 2 rookies and a bunch of second-year players.
Well, you know how good those Florida State guys can be, Ricky.
They're listen,
good.
they are 2 rookies, but they're very, very good. Those 2 are very good.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Jared Verse, he recovered the fumble and ran it in for a touchdown, but he didn't have a sack. And Braden Fisk only had half a sack. They did a pretty good job of double teaming Fisk most of the night. However, that just opened up the outside for guys to come off the edges. And I mean, Byron Young got into the act. Lake got into the act. I mean, there was a bunch of different guys that had. Well, I think even Witherspoon, the corner, had a sack.
You might be right. Yeah,
at one point. Actually, he did. It was him that forced the fumble that Verse picked up.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and credit to McVay and his staff. They put together a damn good game plan and executed it and made Sam look like Sam. aside from that,
yeah,
you know, I think he had such a good year that it kind of fooled a lot of us into thinking that he's not Sam, but he is. At the end of the day, he's still the same guy. And I'm not saying that people can't get better or circumstances can't change. However, there were a lot of people saying this in the chat, and I have to completely agree. If he was to break free from Minnesota and he went to, say, Jacksonville or some place like that, I think he'd do just fine. Work with the spotlights on him and the media, a good guy. I could just see it now. There probably wouldn't be the hit pieces one after the other like there are with Rodgers, because Rossini doesn't hate Sam the way she hates Rodgers, but because Sam didn't make look like an ass.
Right, and he doesn't seem to do any, right? Like Rodgers has takes on things outside of football. Sam was a pretty quiet guy outside of football, so I don't think that sort of stuff would come up either, probably.
Yeah, that kind of stuff wouldn't come up, but you know how our media is, and I don't want to single out one guy as far as the media goes, but I could see Connor Hughes with some kind of double meaning trick question that set Sam up to say the wrong thing, like when he asked Zach, how's your it was Elijah Moore. How's your relationship with Zach?
Yeah.
What's going on with you and Zach? Why do you think Zach isn't getting you? I mean, he reworded the thing like 5 or 6 times until finally Moore got so frustrated that he came right out and was like, probably said what he was thinking all along. Hell, I don't know, because I don't get the ball.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Elijah Moore was a little bit of a head case.
For sure.
Dude, we get it. You came from Ole Miss, along with A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf.
Correct. Yeah.
Nice little tree but there. Guess what? You're not A.J. Brown or DJ Metcalf. You're Elijah Moore. Those other 2 guys, they've got muscles on their stomach that are bigger than you, Elijah. Did you see those draft photos? My goodness.
Good Lord. Yeah.
A.J. Brown, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I got the facts, the stats, and the numbers to back it up. A.J. Brown is a top 3 receiver in this league, period.
Wow.
And that's not me saying it. It's a fact,
Okay.
Second in receptions and yardage to only Cooper Kupp in his historic year. The year before that, second to only Devontae Adams. And I mean, and listen, I'm not a big AJ Brown fan. Most of the time, I wouldn't know this kind of crap off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But when AJ Brown was leaving Tennessee and headed to Philly, which is still like one of the biggest head scratchers anywhere. John Robinson, thank you very much. We're not interested in you for our GM after a move like that. At any rate, like I was thinking, what in the hell is Tennessee thinking? But I was on here one day just monkeying around on YouTube, and I came across a video, and it was called "Why AJ Brown Will Dominate with the Eagles." And I was like, okay. So I started watching it, and man, it was everything: yards per reception, yard over expected, yards after catch. I mean, it was everything was like top 3, top 2. I mean, every single category. And he did it in Tennessee with Derrick Henry, which was like run first and probably one of the run heaviest teams in the league. And then he leaves and goes to Philadelphia, where they got a good running game, and they got Jalen Hurts, who runs all the time. So he put up those kind of numbers on 2 of the most run heavy teams in the entire league, which makes it almost even more impressive.
Of course. Yeah.
Which I don't want to get too sidetracked with that, but
right.
Which I already did, I guess. But at any rate,
yeah.
Yeah, I just, in a different market, I think Sam would be good, but coming back here, it's almost like Rex coming here, but to a much lesser degree.
Right.
Like, there were a lot of people who wanted Rex. And guess what? If Rex came in with all his big talk, fans would probably love it, until that first 4-game skid or something. And then they'd want to crucify him. And we'd look like the biggest clown show ever if we hired him back and it blew up in our face a second time, which is exactly why I think it won't happen. I think the risk with that is way too high. But like Jake Asman said it, you know what? Rex would give some, speeches to get us all fired up. The guys would probably go out there and play their ass off for him. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's only going to probably get you so far. At any rate, it's going to be interesting to see where things go. But, and oh man, we as fans, I think we just need to quit pining over the loss of our ex. A month ago or a year ago, we were all going, "Oh, but Gino, he's changed. He's the guy," and maybe not. That's the thing. These reclamation projects, they can go on runs for a certain period of time. But then, it's just like any rookie, any backup, anything. Like once the tape is out and people see, oh, you know what? That's why he's having success. He's doing this. And it only takes one team to really expose a guy like that. And then all of a sudden the blueprint is out and it's all downhill from there. So, I mean, which that could be the case with Sam. We won't know because this was his last game. We won't see him again this year.
Yeah, right. But, yeah, so he is set to be a free agent. But
yeah, but the Rams could have very well put that blueprint out there, and next year we may see a lot of different teams attacking Sam that same way. And I don't know. To me, I think it's just too much risk with it. Too much potential to go wrong. That being said, it would be a nice story, but. Nah, I don't think so. And honestly, I don't think Sam would necessarily want to come back to this market.
That's a fair point, Ricky, that maybe he just doesn't want to come back. I can't speak for that. I'm not in Sam's head. I don't know. But we've mentioned some of the teams that could be interested, right? Raiders, Titans, teams like that. Well, the Titans have the number 1 overall pick. They go in Cam Ward. They go in Shadur Sanders. Well, they're probably out of the Sam Darnold market. What about Vegas? You got Deion Sanders trading up to number 2. Are they getting quarterback? And then are they off the board? And here's the other thing I want to bring up here. Sam Darnold this season, right? So I gave you all the numbers, right? That'd be the craziest year in Jets history. This year, for the National Football League, not just the Vikings, 5th in the league in passing yards, 5th in the league in passing touchdowns, top 5, both categories. Sam Darnold, top 5 in passing yards, top 5 in passing touchdowns. I mean, and again, I love all the takes. Ricky calls in, he shares his take. He wouldn't be for it. That's cool. By the way, the updated poll results are 67% say no. The question straight up, would you want Sam Darnold back on the Jets in 2025? It's now up to 68, 69%. It's floating. Obviously, more votes are coming in on Sam Darnold. I'm just saying, I don't think we should just be so quick to cast him aside. It's like, ex-girlfriend. Here's the difference between Rex Ryan and Sam Darnold, right? Where is Rex Ryan's 2024 season with the Vikings that Sam just had, where he's top 5 in passing yards, top 5 in passing touchdown? It's been nothing. It's just been a bunch of bluster from the ESPN studios. Well, if I was a coach, I would do a hoobada hoobada wabbada zibbada boopada. What the hell does any of that mean? None of us know. He hasn't been on an NFL sideline in 8 full seasons, 9 years, people, on Rex Ryan. Sam Darnold at least has shown some growth where you're like, whoa, mama. Okay, look what he just did with the Purple People Eaters. There's some compelling stuff there for old Sam Darnold. Again, 5th in passing yards, 5th in passing touchdowns among all quarterbacks in the National Football League this season. All right, let's go to a super chat. We also have more phone calls to get to. Backwoods aren't cool. Every time we get a YouTube super chat here on the show, we hear from my daughters right
Wow.
Thank you, sir, for the golden $9.99 super chat. We appreciate that. Sam Darnold once again showed incompetence at the quarterback position when it matters most. His senior year at USC threw 26 touchdowns, 13 picks. With the Jets, 45 touchdowns, 39 picks. Dude is buns. With I believe that's a trash can emoji from Backwoods Aren't Cool. Well, first off, Backwoods Aren't Cool. Those are 3 raffle tickets to our giveaway later this month. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. We'll put that in here. Very, very nice here. That's 3 raffle tickets, my friend, with $1 change, which we appreciate. We'll make sure we put that in there for you. So Backwoods Aren't Cool. Appreciate that. I'm going to say this again. Part of the criticism of Sam Darnold with the Jets was sure turnovers. He was a turnover monster at USC. He was a turnover monster with the Jets, but also the support around him was questionable. The questionable offensive line, the questionable talent. And when we get it reversed, and obviously he's grown from that Jets tenure, we've seen it last year in Minnesota, or this season, whatever you want to call it, because their season's over, so I call it last year. Last year in Minnesota, like, look at the numbers, man. He looked good. And sure, were there a couple of ghosty games? Sure. Doesn't every quarterback have a bad game or two? Come on, man. Is he buns cheeks, as the kids say? Booty cheeks, or whatever you damn kids are saying out there? I don't know, man. To me, I think we're overrating 2 games. Prisoner of the moment. We're seeing 2 recent games. We're like, Sam Darnold, look at that ghost kid. But look at the rest of the season. We're freaking awesome all year, man. Let's put some love on old Sammy, the USC kid. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. We've got our boy Hep here on the program. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. I was watching Jake yesterday. You know, like Jake does he Bugs Bunnies people. Like, Bugs Bunny's a trickster. He just like goes them and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he was doing that a little bit on Pop yesterday. Someone called in talking about if Salah got hired by Dallas, that Pop would have a heart attack.
Which is probably true. That'd be. I can't wait to ask him that. I don't know what day he's coming on this week. I got to double check that, but that'd be funny.
Yeah, and then Jake put on this video of like a fake, an AI, Rodgers talking to Pop, and Pop's going on a rant about, well, you went to Egypt and we were on a submarine and we would never do that on our. Remember when he was talking about that?
Yeah.
And he had him going back and forth. I think it's Gator who makes those videos. I'm not
that's
sure.
funny.
Yeah, so I figured I'd just give you a heads up on that.
Oh,
I mean, I wouldn't mind Darnold. The only thing is he's pretty pricey. Wouldn't he be pricey coming in?
Yeah, Bob Wischusen's prognostications were basically 20-something million per year on a 5-year deal was his, so that'd be like $100 million plus contract. The calculated spot track market value, that's like a expert prognostication of what they believe he would get on the open market, is $40 million per year. I don't think he's quite going to get that high. Again, quarterbacks are scarce, and he's currently scheduled, unless the Vikings franchise tag him, he's going to hit the open market. And there's all these teams like Titans, Raiders, Jets, and all kinds of other teams that are going to be quarterback hungry. So maybe that increases his price. My guess right now here on January 16th is Sam Darnold's going to get a multi-year deal for somewhere in the ballpark of 25 to 35 million per year. So sure, it's going to be like a 3-year deal for somewhere in the ballpark of like 80, 90, 95 million, something like that. But hey, I mean, that's cheaper. Think about the top of the market. Dak Prescott's the highest paid quarterback in football, $60 million per year. You're getting that for like a third or half. Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, you think that with Darnold's last game that the Vikings aren't going to want him back now?
Yeah, I think the real part that it complicates me for the Vikings is whether or not to use the franchise tag. Because to me, before this recent run, Vikings slap the franchise tag on the kid. You kick the can down the road. You allow J.J. McCarthy to heal up however you want. Again, if I was the Jets, I'd prefer them to do something else. But if I'm being honest and I pretend to be a Vikings person for a second, I'd franchise tag him. I bring Sam back, let him ride out the year. If he repeats the year again and he's awesome, you're like, okay, we got a first world problem here. Let's figure it out. But if Sam Darnold flops, you're like, okay, time for J.J. McCarthy time, and you flip it. So that's what I would do if I'm the Vikings. Now, after those last 2 games, I'm like, boy, do I give Sam Darnold $40 million fully guaranteed dollars? Ooh, which would be the franchise tag. That's a projection of what it's supposed to be around. So yeah, it's a tough question.
Man. That's a tricky one, because you don't know what you have in JJ yet,
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Are you just going to are you going to say, Sammy, slap him on the cheeks, enjoy the NFL? He goes to free agency, gets mega money. You turn over to JJ, right? Let's say more Jordan Travis. I don't wish this on anybody, of course, but more Jordan Travis. He has more injury problems and he never gets right, or he gets right, gets on the field and sucks. You're like, yikes! Guess we should have kept Sammy. So there's so much unknown there.
All right. See you guys on the rebound.
Appreciate it, Hap. Thanks for the call. I'll have to watch that Jake Asman Hop on Pop Cowboys bit. That's funny. Someone, if you guys know the whatever you call that, the timestamp or whatever for the Jake Asman video, let me know somewhere on Discord or Twitter or something, and I'll go watch that. Or someone clips it up, I'll go see that. That's funny. I'll show that to my father, see what he thinks. I appreciate that. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. By the way, a quick update on the poll. We are at, hey now, let me scroll up here. 66% say no. They don't want Sam back. The majority says no, currently. But hey, man, there's still more time for super chats and memberships to come in and maybe flip that narrative. We will see. We'll take a discount double check at that one, perhaps. All right, next up on the phone line said Johnny Boy, who's clearly a Sam Darnold truther guy, right, Johnny? Huh?
Ah, man, this is tough, bro. BG, for the Jets right now, I would have to agree with Ricky and say no to him. Look, I like Sam Darnold. I like what Sam Darnold is doing, but I think if he was to come to the Jets, it would repeat itself, unfortunately, because right now we have no GM and we have no coach, right?
That's correct.
So who would be the team, essentially, the support team that would be around him to help him succeed? I don't know. Do I think that we should judge him for the last two games? No, I think the last game in the second half, he adjusted a little bit better and was stepping up into the pocket and trying to get that ball. His biggest problem is he holds on to that damn ball too long.
Oh, my goodness, for sure.
And he got sacked, almost 9 times in that game?
He did get sacked 9 times in that game. That's correct.
And then the other piece would be I don't think this should be a big issue with it, but the money situation, money piece and all that, what is going to happen with the whole Aaron Rodgers, and then we get him. So then what's going to happen to all the other young guys, right? How much we're going to be paying them. And I don't know. There's just a lot more stuff stacked on Sam Darnold, because I think for him, he would have to be in a situation where the team is already ready to be a playoff contender, is going to be one of those Super Bowl contender type of teams. And unfortunately, we're just not there. Right, we have a lot of holes that need to get filled out, and quarterback is one of them, right?
Yeah, and so is coaching. But we get a brand new coach, and here we get Sam Darnold. Boom, boom. That's solved Super Bowl, baby. Come on.
I mean, I would love it. Listed, I think it would be dope. But he was hitting it right on the head. Ricky was, with the whole Connor Hughes trying to bait him into questions, the media trying to bait him to questions, which is the truth. I could already hear, your first time coming over here didn't go so well. What makes this second time be a lot better? I've grown as a player. I've grown as a man. I was young, blah, blah, blah.
He's going to give good answers.
Exactly. So do I like Sam Darnold? I love Sam Darnold, man. I have 3 of his jerseys.
There you go. Get some use out of him. He could come back.
And I know Woody, that's his guy, bro.
I can only imagine what he'd say. I know we have Sean Merriman on the show, so I don't know how much Sam Darnold we're going to get today. But come on, man, he's gonna be all over this take.
So if he has a supporting cast around him that he would need to succeed and continue to keep doing better, I'm all game for it and all that. If you tell me McCowan is coming over here, then I would be like, yeah, because he's worked with him. He's worked with him since he was a Jet, right? So in that scenario, but again, as of now, with everything going on, I would have to say a no, bro. So
okay. Well, I appreciate the honesty, Johnny. Thank you, and same for Ricky. Again, everyone doesn't have to just come on the show and say, Paul, it's clearly you're so right. Right now, you guys are not on the bandwagon. That's okay. You guys are wrong, of course, but you'll eventually get on the right side of history here when Sammy signs with the Jets, baby. He's coming back. He's coming back.
Hey, and if he does, I'll be right here cheering for him too.
Excellent.
Because he's a Jet. So
that's it. Love it.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate the call, buddy. Again, like the video, hit subscribe. We got 600 people in the room. Wonderful. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby, across all our social media platforms. Heavy on Jets, youtube.com/BoyGreen25 and Twitter @BoyGreen25 as well. Again, get those raffle tickets in, baby. Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, $2.99 per for that big prize pack we're giving away at the end of the month. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. I believe we have NY Jets FL. The spinning circle of death. Sorry, NY Jets FL. You must be having some Wi-Fi issues. All right. Maybe contact Ricky about that. Maybe he'll also have some answers for you. Or not. I'm not sure. All right, back to the phone lines. Cup of Philly Noodles here on the show. Okay, he's clearly on the Darnold train, baby. Come on. There's plenty of room. 2-2.
Listen. I say it's not going to happen. Only because he's not going to want on the train.
Why would
we have to realize... Because as soon as he left and we traded him to Carolina, he was in a happy state. Like he was happy. I don't think you come back to the organization. It's not like the owner changed hands. You know, the owner at least wanted him out too. Like he has to agree to those moves. So listen, this is my take. First off,
okay, all right.
If we look at JJ McCarthy,
sure,
he was drafted not to become an instant starter, but as a predecessor to Kirk Cousins, right? So, and my theory is...
Wait, say that one more time?
He was supposed to become a predecessor, the guy coming after Kirk Cousins. Remember, Kirk Cousins was on that.
I see what you're saying. Yes. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So everyone has to think logically. Unless you're telling me J.J. McCarthy is the same as Daniels, then they're not going to start him next year if they have no Darnold. So they're going to re-sign Darnold and it's over. And if he has an option to leave, it's not going to be with the Jets. It'll be with a different team.
Like who?
Because he'll have an opportunity, if he could, to get into the playoffs with any other team if they're there. And they're not going to be there. So it is Minnesota. You don't leave Minnesota. You would take a pay cut so you can go to the playoffs again. Not so that you don't go to the playoffs as
I would say this. I would not blame Sam Darnold if he looks at his options, right? So like he's setting up. We're getting months ahead of time. Agents talk to agents. He's like, oh, here's your market basically. Here are the teams that are going to be swimming in your waters. And he goes, He sees those teams again. There's going to be teams. I have no doubt. There's going to be 3, 4, 5 teams, maybe more. I don't know.
I think it's a total of 6, including Minnesota.
Yeah, let me do this. Let me look up the NFL cap space 2025. That'll give us a good guess, and then we'll know numbers and where people are.
BG, let's put it to ourselves this way. The first 2, I honestly think there's going to be an arms race to see if the Raiders or the Giants trade up to number 1. That's what I think is going to happen. If Tennessee doesn't
we'll see. One. For sure. Yeah, I think it's going to be there. Or Cleveland. I think Cleveland could be another one that you trade up. So Raiders are going to be involved. Minnesota's going to be involved. Pittsburgh's going to be involved. I'm just talking about quarterbacks in free agency who have money. Why wouldn't Pittsburgh? They don't have any quarterbacks.
They just
Justin Fields and
Russell Wilson gave out a better performance than Sam Darnold in the playoff game. You wouldn't go back. You would go back.
Oh, come on. What
you wouldn't go to 9 sacks.
Lost. Come on.
Yeah, but you don't go back. You don't go to 9 sacks after Russell Wilson, put up have a decent game.
You would rather have 37-year-old Russell Wilson over 27-year-old Sam Darnold? Stop it.
Yes, for a playoff run, 1,000%.
But it's not just a playoff run; it's everything else too. It's everything else too.
They still won. It doesn't matter. Like they didn't get 14 wins, but
they won 10 games. They lost 5 in a row to end the season.
Well, look how the playoff game ended. But look how the playoff game ended.
Oh boy,
Sam took 9 sacks. Come on, BG. We can't have that.
That's a take. So, long story short, there'll be a bunch of teams involved. Involved. But
I do think
so. Again, I would not blame Sam if he looked at his options again and then looked at Minnesota as an option. And no, he would probably have to take less. Again, Minnesota's got decent cap space here, but he would probably have to take less to go back because there's a chance he's doing whatever he's going to be doing in Minnesota. And he said, "Go shit." They got Kevin O'Connell. They got McCown still here, I would assume, for as we currently stand, and because he'll have all those answers by March. And he's like,
this?
"Shoot, I'll stay."
How about this? I think you just made a very salient point.
Okay.
Whatever McCown would end up doing would probably give the verdict of what Sam would want to do, right? Because he has him whispering in his ear.
So he follows him wherever he goes, you're saying?
Imagine. Glenn. Boom.
Yeah, I would love that.
Got a little Jets reunion. There's your triple Jets reunion threat right there for you.
So now
you'd be ecstatic. Now, if it's a Glenn, McCown, Sam Darnold, you get a cup of Good stuff right there.
Well, there we go.
But if that don't happen, sail away. It's not going to happen.
Okay, sail away. I appreciate the
All right,
Stitch
brother.
reference there. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you. Cup of Philly Noodles, Cup of Reunion? Maybe? I don't know. Perhaps. We will see what happens. Again, I would love, I'm sure we'll do another show on it tomorrow because there's been some more Aaron Glenn buzz with the New York Jets. I would love nothing more than Aaron Glenn, Josh McCown, and then you flip in a new GM candidate. So I gave my top 5 yesterday of GM candidates. There's a new name on that, not a new name. I mean, he's one of the 15. There's a name on that list that we all have been ignoring that apparently is a lot higher up on the Jets list than we think. Again, we'll save that for tomorrow's show, but interesting. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's see if we got him back. NY Jets FL? What? No. Sorry. Geez. NY Jets FL. I don't know what's going on with your Wi-Fi. I am compelled to hear this take that you have been attempting the entire show to kind of tune into, but it has not been able to happen here. So, yeah, he says, sorry, my internet is shite. Well, I'm so sorry, NY Jets FL. We'd love to hear whatever take you have on this Sam Darnold action, but we'll tell you for sure. But yes, long story short, to finish off kind of the Sam Darnold take. And again, you guys can continue to vote. This will keep going on. 67% say no. The Jets are in quarterback hell. Is Aaron Rodgers going to retire? Is he going to come back? I don't know. We don't know the answer to anything here. Whether he's going to come back, he's going to retire. If he just walks away, are we going Tyrod Taylor? Is that the answer for this year? Is that how you rev the engine? Hey, get your season tickets. We've got Tyrod Taylor running out of the tunnel. And Tyrod's fine. He's just solid. He doesn't rev my engine. He doesn't make me say, let's go. Let's run through a wall for the guy. We're about to win the Super Bowl. No, I'm going to be candid. He does not rev that engine for me. But, I mean, he's a solid guy. He's a solid guy. All right, let's try it one more time. NY Jets FL? Still nothing. I'm so sorry, NY Jets FL. It looks like your Wi-Fi continues to. If you get it a good place, I'll keep trying to bring you on for sure. But again, it's there's a chance Aaron. Like not even more than that. Like I mean, let's be blunt here. There's a big chance Aaron Rodgers either retires or is playing for a different team next year. There's been all kinds of speculation. He could go over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He could go over to New Orleans Saints. There's other teams he could jump to. So we just have to embrace that is a realistic possibility he's not on the team. If he's not on the team, we got Tyrod Taylor and an injured Jordan Travis. I mean, that's hardly inspiring. So you could jump on the Sam Darnold train. I'm just saying, people. It'd be compelling. It'd be interesting. It'd be captivating. And coming off this historic year where he set individual bests in completion percentage, passing yards, passing touchdowns, QBR. I mean, he checked off so much off the bucket list, and there would be nothing more. I would love to see that old Sam Darnold. Come on home, Lassie. Open the door. Ring the bell. Dinner is served. Ring, 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 ring. Come on, Sammy. And then an emotional scene of slow motion of me running in an open prairie towards Sam Darnold and Sam Darnold running toward me, and we embrace one another with a big hug. Come on, people. I'm giving you the Hollywood script. I've already got it. The NFL sent me the script. This is what's going to happen. Come on, right? Come on. Sam gosh darn Darnold. Molon says, Paul on them gummies. Well, different strokes, different folks. Okay, I am batting 0 right now. Okay, 0. I've hit nothing. Every caller so far said, Paul, you're an idiot. So that train may continue right now, but maybe not. I'll do the Aaron Rodgers thing at the end of Enigma. This could be it, or it could not be. Scene to black. We'll see what happens here. Let's bring in Philium, FL Phil 98, baby, here to share his take. Man, these calls have been compelling. No question about it, Philium.
Yeah, well, to me, there's a couple of different issues here. One is that a lot of people keep saying he'd be crazy to come back or he won't come back, and that may be very true. To me, that's not the issue at hand. The issue at hand is if he's available, willing to come back, what kind of terms are we looking at, and do you want him or just don't want him, period.
Yeah.
And I think that under our current situation at quarterback, as you've laid out, if you can get a Sam Darnold for a 3 or 4 year deal at the right price, People keep saying they want to bring back Rodgers, for example, because who else is there? All right, well, this is a 27-year-old guy. Here's an example of who else is there.
Yeah.
Do I think that he's going to light the world on fire, become the next, Joe Montana, and take us to the Super Bowl? Probably not. Is he a competent placeholder while we do search, if we're looking at drafting a quarterback next year? All right, so if we don't want that guy or expect that guy to play immediately, well, we probably need a 2-year bridge quarterback anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So depending on the terms, if you have only have to commit 3 years and maybe a 4th-year option, and, depending on how much is guaranteed, how much you have to eat, this is where the details come in. Mm-hmm. And to me, to just be like, oh, fuck that, Sam Darnold, fuck that. I think that's a little, I'm going to be nice and just say I disagree with that take.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. Okay. I thought you could have used stronger language there, perhaps, to describe that alternative. But yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm a man who learns his lessons, and I've learned them when it comes to conflict on internet television shows.
Touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and as far as that goes, what it comes down to is I don't need people to agree with me, and I don't have to force my opinion down anybody's throat either. Mm-hmm. To each his own, and everybody's got their take, and they're entitled to it. Mm-hmm. Arguing about it, there's no point in it. To me, there isn't. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, my feeling is just I'm not pounding on the table. Just like I brought up the reseeding the other day. I'm not freaking out saying this is something that has to be done. But, and by the way, I appreciate the article that you sent. I think you can make a strong case for it. That's what I'm doing right now.
The NFL is actually looking at it. Phil, you even said, and you said, here's my take, and I will start off with, the NFL is never going to change this, but I just to have the conversation. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess, Phil, you might be right. And then, NFL and CBS, did you know the NFL is now considering reseeding? I'm like, what the? Phil, you know people in high places, my friend. That's, wow. Okay, so they're apparently considering it. It's going to be tossed about at these NFL owners meetings during the offseason. So compelling. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that as far as all the structure stuff about how things work, tiebreakers, all that crap that they talk about all the time, there's always something that doesn't quite work, and nothing's perfect. And I think for the longest time, the NFL owners in particular have just kind of like, this is our system, it's imperfect, that's fine. But I think that they've seen so many years now where teams with 2, 3, 4 more wins are going on the road. The owners of those teams are starting to go, wait a minute, I want a home game.
Right. It's funny that switches, right? Once, the people that are like have no, bias, whatever, they're not in. They're like, whatever, here's my opinion. The people that are on the top, right? The beneficiaries are like, yeah, that's great. NFL, keep this going. The people that are like losing from, whoa, NFL, what the hell? What's going on here? And you got different teams every year that are on the, the short end of the stick, so to speak. So that's been interesting. Yeah.
Yep. So again, as far as Sam Darnold goes, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it under the right conditions because I don't think our options are great. And if we're looking for the quarterback of the future, again, everybody keeps looking at we're going to draft in 26. Mm-hmm. Well, you want to throw out all these hypotheticals about Sam Darnold not coming here. Well, who's to say that Arch Manning's going to come here, right? So I think there's a good chance that a guy like Sam Darnold, look, and again, you could throw out names all day long, all the mediocre quarterbacks who've won Super Bowls, all the guys who after 7, 8, 10 years in the league suddenly emerged as good, competent quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. If Sam Darnold's going to throw too many interceptions and you're going to have fits over it, name me a quarterback that's perfect, other than maybe frickin' Mahomes, okay? Right. You're going to have a quarterback make mistakes. He's going to cost you games. He's going to win you games. You got to put a good product on the field. You got to coach it well, which is our biggest problem. Mm-hmm. Is Sam Darnold a guy who can take you to the playoffs? Playoffs? Hell yeah.
That's right. And by the way,
I'm not talking about making him our franchise quarterback for a decade. I'm talking about a 3 or 4 year deal, and we see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, after all these other calls of Paul, you're an idiot, to Paul, like, maybe. I'm like, okay, William, you're my leading candidate right now among the callers. Okay, terrific. I love it.
Well, I can't see the chat, but I'm guessing my head's on fire too. So.
Quite. So hey, that's part of the dance, I suppose. Is I'm dancing over here. People are throwing tomatoes. I'm trying to dodge them left or right. Film's like, whoa, wait a second here. Maybe we should hear this boy Green fell out. They're like, oh, maybe you're right, or maybe not. And then more tomatoes being cast your way. And William, I know that you are a big AG guy, a big Aaron Glenn guy, and I'm telling you. Maybe we'll do a full show. I want to have you on the show for this. I want to play one quick clip that went viral yesterday because there are two big detractors of Jet fans that say, I don't want this Aaron Glenn guy. And the thing that continues to come up is, of course, he's a defensive guy. Of him because he's a defensive guy. That's one of the big things that comes up. And then the other thing is he's a first-time head coach. Obviously, you can't do anything about the first-time head coach thing. He either is or isn't. You either love it, you don't. You either complain about it, or you don't. That's either no matter which way that you end up, I guess, swinging on that one. But the thing that I found very compelling is what he said to the people, and he had this comment because he's been asked about it. He does press conferences like any coordinator on a week-to-week basis, and he was asked about, you're a defensive guy. How many defensive head coaches have won the Super Bowl? And I wanted to put this up for the fans that are either AG fans or not AG fans, and then we'll get your response to this, William. This is Aaron Glenn, who stepped up to the podium yesterday. Again, currently is the Detroit Lions defensive coordinator. He went on every interview not named the New England Patriots, which excites me greatly. I appreciate him not doing that one. But here it is. Here's a quick clip. You'll hear the media question to him about, hey, you're just a defensive guy. And here was his response to that. Here's Aaron Glenn.
Typically, Bill Belichick is a shining example of a defensive coach who won Super Bowls, but typically it's offensive coordinators. They come from the offense who become Super Bowl head-winning coaches. Yeah. Why do you think that might be?
Well, I don't know if that's truly accurate. I can just go off the top of my head with Bill Carr, Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick. That's won a ton of Super Bowls as a defensive coach. And here's the one thing that I would say about myself. I'm a coach. I just happen to be on defense. I understand the offense just as well as a number of people. So if you want to hire me, you're going to hire a coach. You're not going to hire a defensive coach. I'm going to talk to the offense just as much as I'm going to talk to the defense.
That's a pretty good answer for AG to all those people that are naysayers, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think, one of the reasons I've been such a fan of Glenn is, this goes back to when we used to argue about leadership. And I had the argument with Pancake, about Pancake when he said they're all good leaders. They're not all good leaders. There is a difference. Aaron Glenn is both a fiery guy and a guy who I think relates well to his players. Screaming and yelling at people just doesn't work anymore. I don't know that it ever really did. I guess, there were guys that for whatever reason got away with it because of their rep or whatever. And of course, players were different. They just were. They didn't have the power. They just didn't have the power that they have today. So they had to swallow their pride. Just like most of us, when your boss gives you shit, you have to smile at him and say, yes, sir, instead of fuck you very much.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Right? Yeah. I think Aaron Glenn is the guy. I felt like he was from the first time his name was mentioned, which you may recall. I'm a little surprised that Agnew never got any buzz.
Yeah, very odd.
And I had a conversation with you and your dad about, first time head coach, first time GM, whatever. Every great one had a first opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? So if your big thing is I want experience, we've had that conversation too. How do you get experience without somebody giving you the opportunity for it? I just think Glenn checks every box, and I think he's going to be a great success wherever he goes. And I honestly think this from the get. I think Vrabel's going to fail. I do. Okay. I don't think he's all that. I really don't. I think he's going to fail. And that's not just because I'm a Jets fan. I'm glad we didn't get Vrabel. And I don't want Flores either. There are other people I'd rather see. The fact that, just like this conversation with Sam Darnold, and maybe this is going to start more shit. Okay. How you don't talk to Mike McCarthy is beyond me.
Yeah.
Okay. I would still want Glenn over him, but let's say Glenn does go elsewhere.
Yeah.
To me, Mike McCarthy's number 2.
Yeah, how does he not even get an interview? A guy that's won a Super Bowl, that had 3 straight 12-win seasons with the Cowboys, that won 180 some odd games as a head coach. He's been a head coach for 18 years at 2 different places, and he appears set to get a third somewhere. He's talking to the Bears. He's talking to the Saints. Again, people say apparently he's not going to talk to the Jets, but it sounds like he wouldn't have said, hey, Jerry, pack it, buddy. I don't want to be a head coach for another year or two. He must have something else cooking. That would be the only reason to tell Jerry to go kick rocks to the old boss. I think Mike's going to land on his feet. So I don't understand. We're interviewing everyone under the blue sun, for God's sake. So we're not going to at least talk to McCarthy. That seems odd. Yeah.
It does. And I think as far as the relationship between the two of them, I think McCarthy had pretty much had it with Jerry's bullshit. And when he denied him the ability to talk to Chicago, and then made the comments about, if you don't want to be here and all that. I think that was the last straw for McCarthy. I really do. I don't think that he was necessarily going to leave, but I think that probably was it.
True. Yeah.
And I think here's a guy who, again, between Aaron Rodgers' antics towards the end, between, the shit show that is Jerry Jones, I think this is a guy who's coped with a lot of bullshit and done pretty well.
That's true. Yeah, look at the success. I mean, yeah, I love it. Well, Philium, thank you for the commentary, and yes, I'm sure we're gonna get some Mike McCarthy shit. So I appreciate you throwing that bomb and going, "See ya, suckers," and then leaving. Thank you very much. God bless for that. But no, it's a compelling thing. I think that's also if we did a poll on that too, I think that'd be very polarized. There's a lot of people that love Mike McCarthy or at least respect him. I put those people in that side of the category. Love, respect, say, hell, we got to talk to this guy. They have to go, no way, Aaron Rodgers guy. Like they just kind of bucket him together for whatever reason. I don't know why or whatever with Dallas, but he's a guy that's an offensive guy. He's had a lot of success. The Cowboys have had teams that have scored 30-plus points per game. Sign me up for that, please, after everything we've seen. Everyone's clamoring for offensive guys, but Mike McCarthy we're too good for. Sam Darnold we're too good for as random examples, but pocketing them together like, huh? Who? What? I don't know. A little weird.
Yeah.
A little weird.
Yeah, and just real quick, the conversation about whether Darnold would want to come back, I get that 100%. And if he doesn't want to come back, I don't blame him, and I understand that. The conversation to me is, do you want him? And if we're just going, fuck that guy, I don't think we're in any position to do that.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at. Again, I get to your same point. People say, Paul, would he want to come back? I don't know. I'm not Sam Darnold. Maybe not. Maybe he was burned the first time. Said, fuck the Jets. If they were the last team on earth, I'm playing baseball. Like, okay, maybe that's what he'd say. I don't know. But the straight up, and there's been a lot of it, no fucking way. Sam Darnold sucks. I'm like, what? Huh? Have you seen the Jets quarterback play lately? Come on, man. But anywho, I guess that's neither here nor there. Philium, thanks, brother. Appreciate the chat as always. There he is.
Thank you.
There he is. Philium joining us here on the show, baby. Yeah, always bringing good insights to the program. We got another member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. And I think I know this guy. Let's make it rain from the high heavens, baby. The account is Steve, which to the 700 people in the room right now be like, Steve, okay, Steve, that's my Uncle Stevie, baby. My mother's brother, if you want to put it that way. Uncle Stevie is a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. Shout out to Uncle Stevie, baby. He's on the show and also got himself a raffle ticket to our giveaway contest. I'm not sure what he would do with all that Jets gear if he won it, but we'll see what happens. Appreciate the support. Shout out to my Uncle Stevie here on the program, baby. Excellent. Excuse me. Very nice. And yes, the Jets did request to interview Jeff Hafley, the former Boston College head coach and one-time defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. That one's a little weird, but like I said, we'll probably get into that on the show at a different time. But again, salute to my Uncle Stevie for joining the Boy Green Coffee Club of baby. We appreciate it. Well, everybody, make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe. Again, we got 600-700 people in the room right now. We appreciate it. We've had them throughout the show. We'll be, and look at that real quick, another new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby, Luca. Now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club and earn yourself a raffle ticket for our big contest, Luca. So God bless. Thanks for joining the army, baby. We appreciate you. The Boy Green Coffee Club, loyal member. We always appreciate that, pal. So thank you kindly. Thank you. So Luca is now joining in. Look, and that's how you guys can do it. You guys can join the Boy Green Coffee Club below. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club here. It's on the bottom of every YouTube video. That's the easy way to join the Boy Green Coffee Club. Or, of course, you could gift memberships if you'd like. Feel free to do so, and we can make that happen. So shout out to Luca as well. Salute to Luca. Joining us here on the show. Appreciate all your commentary. Luca! Love it. Booyah! Luca here on the show. But folks, we'll be back on at 3 o'clock. Again, despite what Zach says, we'll have Sean Lights Out Merriman on the show, former All-Pro, former sack leader in the National Football League, one of the best sack dances of all time. He'll be joining us live at 3 o'clock. We're going to be talking about some New York Jets. We're going to be talking about his entrepreneurial life outside of football, which has a connection to college football, which is the draft, which should intrigue Jet fans. Okay? So all of that is together, baby. We'll be discussing that again with Sean Lights Out Merriman. I can't wait. Again, I used to do that sack dance in my room. Lights out, boom, 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 boom. And he was all this souped up, muscled up superhero-like on the football field. It's going to be a great honor to speak to him for the very first time in my life. So I can't wait for that. Sean Merriman. That'll be coming up again live at 3 o'clock. So I hope you guys can come back for that. Boy Green meets Woody. It'll be myself. It'll be James Woody. It'll be Sean Lights Out Merriman. We'll talk some Jets. We'll talk about his partnership with the Shrine Bowl, and he will be live streaming all of those practices for the very first time in Shrine Bowl history. It's the second longest running college all-star event, not named the Senior Bowl, out there in the universe. And Jet fans are going to get an up-close and personal look at all kinds of wonderful prospects, including several from Syracuse, including my boy, Kyle McCord, LaQuint Allen, a couple of Q's boys will be heading over there, which I can't wait for. That is going to be a real hoot. So again, live at 3 o'clock, myself, James Woody, and Sean Lights Out Merriman. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, and we'll see you back in a couple of hours, baby, for another fun show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the fun conversation here on the channel. Peace.